I'm astrologer and life coach Penny Dix. Welcome to my YouTube channel and welcome to this month's in-depth look at everything you need to know and prepare yourself with for the month of August. So remember, I do the overview and then after that I go through each individual zodiac sign. So remember to look at your sun sign and your rising sign and check out all that's going to be happening and unfolding for you through the month of August. Let's make a start. August. Well, I think it's a time for just chilling out, going slow a bit. You know, we've been through tough times and it's really important sometimes to reflect on how we've adapted and how, you know, that's much more than just surviving. So, of course, this is Leo season, moving into Virgo. But let's start with a general look at the astrological climate for August and see how it's going to affect us all. Well, Uranus, my big outer boy, there he is in Taurus. Well, Uranus, that is our planet of the unexpected, of surprise, of rebellious behavior, of all sorts of things electronic, he is going to go retrograde this month and join all the other outer big boys that are all going retrograde. He doesn't go retrograde till the 24th, but then all the outer bodies will be going slow. So this is why it's really a time to just slow down and take a breather, take it easy. How is it going to affect us all? Well, we will be revisiting some of the energies we experienced last year during 2021, especially the second half. This is because my outer big boy Saturn in Aquarius, our planet of restrictions, of boundaries, going slow, timing, that's another thing that sober Saturn can kind of represent. Saturn moving backwards in Aquarius is squaring up, that's a hard, challenging angle, once more with our planet that I've just been talking about, our planet of the unexpected, my big boy Uranus. Well, what is this going to indicate? Well, think back to what was going on at the end of 2021. We were seeing the beginnings of economic downturns. There was a new wave of COVID infections. And what's interesting is that this time Saturn will not only be squaring Uranus, but also volatile Mars, our planet of action, energy, of assertion, and of war. Now, Uranus and Mars are conjunct the North Node in Taurus. The North Node is about our collective destiny. So these three together, which are very much at the beginning of the month until about midway, are really setting the tone for the next few months. And I have done a separate video on the Mars-Uranus conjunct the North Node, so check that out, it's on my channel. Chiron, our asteroid who is also the wounded healer, is also still conjunct expansive Jupiter, our planet of opportunity and luck in Aries. And this lovely energy can expand healing. But remember, Jupiter is kind of neutral. It can go both ways. So it can also expand wounds and wounding. Now you're going to have to make of everything that I'm saying and unpack it yourself in a sense. But if I was to give you a rough idea of what I think this is about, I think we're going to see flare-ups in the areas of the world that have already been suffering, namely Ukraine and Russia. I think we need to keep our eye on what's going on in China. And I also think Finland and Sweden may have some issues with Russia this month. So our collective destiny, including climate change and how we treat the planet, that is another manifestation of this energy. And I think all these topics are going to be very much in the headlines this month. But let's just have a look before I go on to who is Leo. So, Leo, what do we expect during the time of year when we have Leo season? Well, we know Leo is the star of the zodiac, the star of the show. Fixed, fiery energies dominate. Leo is full of charisma and presence and can often be found center stage or in a local production or a West End production or a Broadway production. So you often get actors, actresses, musicians, singers born under the sign of Leo, even politicians, because they do, let's face it, like to be center stage. And even if it's nothing as grand as that, they can often be leaders in their local communities. You know, if Leo isn't allowed or doesn't give itself the opportunity to express itself, it can be quite tough for a Leo. They can get quite introverted and even depressed. But Leo is a creative sign, and that is what needs to have an outlet for anyone with strong Leo tendencies in their chart, whether it's their sun sign or their ascendant or their moon. It's so important to have the opportunity to express that side of things. But it depends also, of course, on the other astrological significations. Significations, yes, that's the right way to say it. Big words today. In one's natal chart, because depending what else is going on in a chart can dilute the Leo energy. But there'll always be a kind of twinkle in the eye and a flash of ego and brilliance. Leo, of course, is ruled by the sun, our life force. Children, partying, come under the sign of Leo, as do love affairs. Let's face it, you'll never have a dull moment with a Leo. So let's see how all of this cosmic energy is going to affect our planet this month. My sense is the realities of the hurts that various countries around the world have received in previous months, they're going to be really crying out for healing, truth, and some kind of spiritual understanding. I think we are going to see this in Europe. You know, there's been events that really desperately need healing. We had shootings in Oslo, which is very rare to have these kind of American kind of events in Europe. And it also happened in Denmark, in a shopping centre near Copenhagen. That is very unusual. So I think there's a lot of countries that need healing. And if you think of all the political changes that have taken place in the UK with change of leadership, America is going through its own issues, and it's going to be interesting with its Pluto return to see how life and politics unfold for it. Remember, Sri Lanka has had a real kind of rebellious outburst, which is bringing about a change in power and the current regime. And then, of course, we had the very sad assassination of the Japanese ex-prime minister. This is very strange kind of energy that we're having. But astrologically, I can see why it's happening, because it is kind of linked to this Mars-Uranus North Node conjunction. We've had this energy since the middle of July, and really since that full moon, where the moon was in Capricorn conjunct Pluto on the 13th of July, this energy is going to last well past the middle of August. And what we need with this Pluto energy, because Pluto's going to move, it's going to dip its toes in Aquarius next year. It hasn't been in another sign. We've had Pluto in Capricorn for nearly 20 years. There's almost not a time when we can remember what life is like without Pluto in Capricorn. But we need to heal old wounds before we can move on to build a better future. How's it going to affect you personally? Well, on a personal level, think back to what was unfolding for you towards the end of 2021. Add that fiery, assertive energy of Mars, and alongside your chosen path and destiny. Maybe at the end of your last year, it might have seemed like 2 steps forward and 1 back. But you can see now, for the rest of this year, you will see where you can use the fortunate energies of retrograde Jupiter in Aries. Jupiter's going to move back into Pisces. That's actually going to be nice, interesting energy, because it moves back into that kind of area where it sets off that wonderful surge of spiritual healing and energy with Neptune. And I think it's about connecting with your truth and enjoying the healing that Chiron, our wounded asteroid, our wounded healer asteroid in Aries, wants us to have. Because I wouldn't mind betting that your life has probably changed significantly since 2021, the kind of last, say, 3 to 4 months of 2021. And I suspect new, exciting doors have opened up, showing you the potential of what you can yet achieve on your chosen path. Now, we have a full moon this month, as we do every month. This month, it's on the 12th of August, and it's in Aquarius. This is about squaring up to your future. Letting go can be challenging, but you know, the benefits are huge. That's all I'm going to say about the full moon, because I will of course do my separate video full moon report, and that will be coming out just towards the beginning of August. The new moon this month is in Virgo on the 27th. And this is a new moon about hard work and how hard work does pay off. You know, it's consistency. If we're consistent with something and overcome that urge to procrastinate, my goodness, what we can achieve. And this new moon is about giving attention to the path ahead. Then your fears and anxieties can melt away. So I will also be doing a separate video for the new moon in Leo, which will be out mid-August. Final thoughts before I go on to your individual zodiac signs. So round about the 22nd, 23rd, we leave Leo and we move into Virgo. And I think it's a time to reflect very much this August on how far you've come, what you've achieved. Because the astrological energies have been unusually tough through 2020 to where you are now. Pause, reflect, and give yourself some credit to adapting, because the people that are where they are now and kind of moving down their individual paths in a good way are the people who've adapted to the changing cosmic energies successfully. One of the most important things I've learned in life is to be adaptable. Because if we're fixed and rigid, then, and you know this because it's so well spoken about, you know, a reed or a tree that stands firmly against the wind, the raging wind, will snap and break. But if we go with it, if we flow with it, then actually, once we adapt, we can truly be true to ourselves and achieve the potential of what's inside us. So on that note, I will leave you to move on to your individual star signs. Remember to check out not only your sun sign, but also your rising sign, also known as the ascendant. And if you don't know what your rising sign is, there are many websites and places via Google, good old Google, where you put all your information in and you can get your rising sign. And it just makes your understanding of astrology so much richer. So thank you so much for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you next time. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. That would be super wonderful. And thank you to all those of you who have recently subscribed. And I will continue to do my best to bring content which is interesting and informative. Okay, now on to the signs. Aries. So this reading is for the sun in Aries or for the ascendant. Aries. Well, your house of finance is really getting a bit of a shake-up at the beginning of the month. And that's because we have this triple conjunction of Uranus, Mars, and the North Node in Taurus, all shaking up your piggy bank. Is this good or is this bad? Well, I think ultimately it will be good, actually. I think it is actually the beginning of things changing for you if finances have been a bit tight, as long as you are still mindful about how you tighten your belt when you need to. Now, Jupiter, our planet of expansion and luck and opportunity, is in your sign. And it's now retrograde, and it's going to move back into your, well, the sector of your chart that's to do with the inner you. So once again, I think it's time for a little navel picking. But, you know, it will help. And I think there are good kind of portents, if you like, for a good deal of very beneficial personal self-development and inner reflection. I think you're quite clear now about what you want or who you want in your life and who or what you don't want in your life. So let's see what else is happening, because Jupiter, even though it's retrograde, is actually making a very nice link, a harmonious link to Venus, our planet of relationships, on the 18th, and that's in Leo. And if you're single and looking, that could bring romance into your life. And the other interesting thing is that, remember, you've got our asteroid Chiron in your sign, Aries. Now, Chiron is the wounded healer. So if you have been feeling hurt by events that have happened over the last few months, always turn to Chiron and just kind of bask in that energy and just know that it's really good for your inner sort of core and how you come across in the future to people. And it's also that kind of like forewarned is forearmed, especially where relationships are concerned. Let's look at the full moon on the 12th, because it's in Aquarius. And this full moon is challenging you to take your time, to not be thrown off course by events outside of your control. Then I think you'll see by the new moon, which is in Virgo on the 27th, you'll be able to see that it was definitely prudent to slow down and observe how things were unfolding. And that's in spite of your ruler Mars, which really is having you chomping at the bit a bit. You really just want to get going. You want to change this, you want to do that, you want to move, you want to change your job. There's so much for Aries at the moment that you really want to change. Now, while we're talking about your ruler Mars, we need to look at where Mars is going to be living for quite a few months, because on the 20th, Mars, our planet of energy, action, of sexuality, and of hard work sometimes, is actually moving into the sign of Gemini. Now, this is your third house of communication, and that's on the 20th. Now, Mars is actually going to be here until March 2023. And during that time, we'll go retrograde. Now, we don't often get these inner planets going retrograde, but when they do, it's a very interesting affair. But it's giving you plenty of time to, in a sense, tone down assertive points that you want to put across to people, to be more mindful of how you deliver challenging points. And this might be because certain people just haven't been getting the message. So it's an interesting month. Things are dramatically changing over the next few months. So you're going to start to see the first seeds of that this month, Aries. So on that note, thank you so much for joining me. And I wish you well. I wish you a great month. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now. So this reading is for the Sun in Taurus or for the Ascendant. Okay, Taurus. Well, the beginning of the month sees this very kind of waited for and interesting strident energy of the triple conjunction in your sign. Are you feeling the effects of it? Let me explain. You have got not only Uranus, who's been in your sign for a while, but you've got Mars conjunct Uranus conjunct the North Node in your sign. This is super energy. This is really, really having a huge effect on you. This is changing you. This is an opportunity to change. And I think you're surprising not only others with how you are changing, but also yourself. And I do feel that this Mars energy is really, it's like you've got a rocket up the backside. You're finding the energy to achieve the goals and keep striving for more that you've always wanted to do. This really is good energy for you. And you can, if you use this energy, Taurus, well, then this sets the scene for almost, you could say, the rest of your life. So it's really spurring you on. And I'm not sure you've ever been so active in your life. And the enthusiasm is really commendable. But don't allow yourself to become psychologically overwhelmed by everything. Now let's look at what else is going on, because retrograde Saturn, my big outer boy of restrictions, of slowing things down, of timing. Retrograde Saturn has been slowing down in your career sector. So what this is doing for you is it's giving you time to really think about your next moves with regard to your career. Because by the time of the full moon in this sector of your chart, Aquarius, on the 12th, you will be much clearer about how you streamline your working life, your career, and all the career ideas that you're currently working on. Uranus, my big outer boy, who's in your sign, who's going to conjunct the sun of every single Taurus native, and you will already, some of you, be aware of how that is changing you and your life. Uranus turns retrograde on the 24th. So this innovative energy is really just going to go back over things that you've already set in place to give you a chance to kind of find more surprising solutions to change them or make them better. Retrograde Jupiter in Aries is really making a helpful angle to our lovely planet of relationship, Venus in Leo, on the 18th. And I think this is going to see you actually really enjoying some kind of luxury at home. That's something that Taurus is very fond of, a bit of luxury. And I think you might find you're entertaining. And what you really have to do is just be careful you don't overindulge. That sweet tooth, not always good for you, Taurus. So what else have we got? Well, we've got Mars, our planet of action, of energy, of assertion, our god of war, our ruler of Aries. And Mars is moving into your financial sector for a lengthy stay. And Mars is going to be bringing opportunities to energize your income. And I think you'll be able to sit back and relax a bit as you start to see that your hard work is paying off. I think also with this energy, you'll be reflecting on how much you've achieved over the last few weeks and months. And I think you deserve some fun. And I do think your social life will be busier, especially from the 27th, with that new moon in Virgo. So there we go. An interesting month ahead for you, Taurus. So please like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you for coming to join me. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now. Gemini. Well, so this reading is for the Sun in Gemini or for the Ascendant. Gemini, how's that inner you? How is your soul, your psyche? Because I think you're going through enormous inner changes. I think you're having a huge kind of aha moment or awakening. Now, this is because at the beginning of the month, we have this strident energy of Mars, our god of action, our god of energy, of actually cutting to the quick. And Mars is conjunct Uranus, our planet of surprise and the unexpected, and just basically a little bit rebellious. And also the North Node, which is our destiny. Now, it's in the sector of your chart to do with the inner you. So I really do feel that you are going through enormous inner changes, which is good. It can only be good. It's kind of going to change the way you come across to the world in general in a way that actually they will find you far more empathic, and people will find a depth to you that they haven't always been able to sort of access. And this is preparing you for when Uranus will finally move into your sign, not till about 2026, when you will go through more extraordinary, wonderful changes. So Uranus is actually slowing down and turning retrograde on the 24th. So that is going to just kind of re-emphasize a kind of opportunity, if you like, for that inner reflection. So even though there may be events happening in your life which are kind of pushing you to do that, please trust it, have faith in it. It really is ultimately going to make a big difference and help you, Gemini. So let's see what else is happening, because Jupiter, now retrograde in Aries, is making a really helpful link with Venus, our planet of love and relationship, also of money, in Leo on the 18th. And I think because it's the area of your chart to do with communication, we're going to find you being very poetic and charming, especially to loved ones and friends. And, you know, if there's someone special in your life, I think you'll be absolutely waxing lyrical. And then, of course, we have the big news. And are you prepared for Mars moving into your sign, Gemini? Because you're getting this from the 20th. Mars, our god of energy, action, assertion, sexuality. You might find you're feeling a little bit more hot under the collar, Gemini, with Mars in your sign. But Mars is moving here on the 20th and stays with you until March 2023. And so, and also during that period, will go retrograde. Is this good for you? Well, I think it's going to give your thoughts and words a bit of a kind of an edge to them. I think you might have to be careful that your ego doesn't get a bit inflated with this energy, because you'll hear what you're saying and you'll think, that sounds good. I think I might say some more like that. So just be mindful of that. Remember, you've got that Uranus in that inner part of the chart, the part to do with the inner you. So you're going through quite an extraordinary psychological change with this current astrological energy. Saturn, our planet of restrictions, of timing and of slowing down, might be delaying certain plans you have to travel. I know it's frustrating, but you have to trust that the divine always knows what she's doing. If there are delays, trust them. Just go, okay, thanks for the heads up. I'll go in this direction, or I'll be patient. We have to have faith, because the full moon in Aquarius on the 12th, also in this same sector, to do with travel and to do with higher education, amongst other things, will see you seriously considering some sort of higher education. And what's interesting is it might also involve travel. So I think you'll find that really will greatly interest you. So that by the new moon on the 27th, which is in Virgo, that could certainly see you making big changes to your living space. Even moving home at this time can occur. So all in all, Gemini, I think you're in for a rather interesting time. And I'm going to say this to all the signs as well. We always have to watch out for ego inflation, because a lot of these energies at the moment are just so extraordinary that it's very easy to allow that ego to just get a little bit ungrounded. So, you know, we all have to remember that, including myself. And so I'm always mindful to try and remind myself constantly to keep my feet well and truly on the ground. So Gemini, thank you so much for coming to watch this. Please like, comment and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now. Cancer. So this reading is for the Sun in Cancer of the Ascendant. Cancer, how are you doing? How's everything going? Because you have this triple conjunction, this famous triple conjunction that I'm talking about between Mars, our god of energy, Uranus, our planet of the unexpected, and the North Node, which is our kind of destiny. You have this stimulating your desire to connect with the world at large. You've got an inner desire to launch a project that is very close to your heart. And with this energy, it's just the perfect opportunity to do just that. Because Jupiter in Aries, in your career sector, is bringing opportunities to your career path. And you will find it will increase your income. And you'll find your energy levels are good and it will enable you to cope with the extra pressures that you're going to have in work. And you really will begin to see that light at the end of what seemed like a very long tunnel. Now, Uranus goes retrograde in this part of your chart to do with your kind of dreams, if you like, on the 24th. So just see that as a good thing, because it's going to help you just go back and look at the sort of the twists and turns of ideas that you've been trying to initiate and what else you can do to get them off the ground. We've also got a very fortunate link from Venus, our planet of relationship and finance. And Venus is currently in Leo, and it's making this link on the 18th to retrograde Jupiter in your career sector. So I just think this finds you finding a lucky opportunity that really points you in the right direction towards a career kind of path where you will really feel truly valued. If you've not felt valued in what you're doing, this will change that. And we must look at the full moon, because the full moon is in Aquarius this month and it's on the 12th. And it really is making you take a realistic look at joint finances, even looking at pension plans. And then we need to look at the planet Mars, because Mars, our god of energy and action, is moving into your sector of inner reflection, and it's going to be here until I think it's March 2023. Now it moves in there on the 20th. This is Gemini. Now, I certainly feel you won't like people telling you what to do or be or think with this energy. So, you know, your friends, you better point this out to them. They better listen to this, because you're not going to like being told what to do. But another use, or a positive use of this energy, is to use this transit to find ways to understand your inner self. So this is like, you know, Mars here could even mean it's a good idea to go to a psychotherapist, because psychotherapy can be like, if you like, psychological surgery, where the therapist cuts deep to get out the difficult things, to look at them and make them much calmer and easier to work with. So this month's new moon is in Virgo, and it's on the 27th. And you know what? This would really be an excellent time to launch a writing project. It's also a great time to sign a contract if you've got contracts or important documents that need to be witnessed or signed. If maybe you need to make a new will, then this is really good energy to do that with. So all in all, Cancer, it's going to be an interesting month for you. It's an interesting month for all the signs. Make the most of this triple conjunction in the part of your chart to do with your hopes and wishes, because you really can make huge headway with that special dream that you really, really want to launch. So on that note, thank you so much for joining me, Cancer. Please like, comment and share and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now. Leo. So this reading is for the Sun in Leo or for the Ascendant. Wow. Wow, Leo. Goodness. How are you keeping up with all the unexpected twists and turns in your career? Because it's just extraordinary. You have this triple conjunction in your career sector. The triple conjunction between Mars, our god of energy and action, and between Uranus, our planet of the unexpected and of unpredictability, and the North Node, which is the destiny currently for your career. So, twists and turns. And really, this is saying that you have everything to play for with this energy and to use the energy wisely. Because for sure, you are going to get lots of opportunities with this energy to get yourself further up that career ladder. And it's all determined by how you choose to use this energy. But, you know, if you sit back and do nothing, nothing will happen. But if you really, really work hard, which Mars can be about working hard, then you can achieve a lot of your most kind of, you know, prominent dreams that you would like to achieve. Uranus turns retrograde on the 24th in this sector. So what Uranus is going to be doing is still stirring up all sorts of projects for you to take your career up to that next level. And we have a full moon on the 12th in Aquarius, and it's in your relationship sector. Yeah, we haven't talked about your relationships lately, have we, Leo? Now, this full moon is combined with restrictive Saturn, who is slowing things down. Just put my teeth back in. So Saturn is slowing things down. So I think with this energy and with this full moon, it's about reflecting on the relationships in your life that are working and letting go of the relationships that really no longer serve you. It's clear out time, Leo. Let's just look at what Mars is up to, because Mars has been in your career sector for a little while, Taurus, but it's now going to leave your sector of career on the 20th to move into Gemini. Gemini is the sign of communication, and in the sector of your chart to do with your hopes, wishes, your projects, connecting with the public at large. So Mars is going to be resident here until late March 2023, and it also has a retrograde phase. But Mars here will bring you in contact with the world at large and is going to give energy and fire to your hopes and dreams. Jupiter, our big outer boy of opportunity and luck, is inspiring you as well this month to want to travel, especially when Jupiter links to Venus, our lovely goddess of love and relationship, our planet also of value, of self-worth and of money. And this is in your sign. Venus is currently in your sign, which is super lovely for you, Leo. When Venus is here, it's like you are radiating really good vibes. And on the 18th makes this really nice angle to Jupiter that is retrograde in Aries, but it might be the impetus you need to book that flight or that train ticket or just hop on a boat, whatever it is that your heart's desire is pulling you towards. This could be the signal you need. And the new moon on the 27th is in Virgo, and it's actually in the sector of your chart to do with your personal finances. So it may be that new moon actually injects some energy into your personal finances, making a trip abroad possible. What's not to like? Well, thank you, Leo. Thank you for coming to watch. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now. Virgo. So this reading is for the Sun in Virgo or for the Ascendant. Virgo. Let's see how this triple conjunction, this event that is happening at the beginning of the month, that is going to affect most of August, and in fact actually really kind of taking you quite a long way into the future from whatever or however you use this energy whilst it's at its height. So let me explain. We've got Mars, our god of war, our god of energy, our god of action. And we have Uranus, our unpredictable little planet, well, big planet, huge planet actually, massive. And the North Node, which is all about your destiny. And they're playing havoc with your nerves because it's like you're trying to arrange a much longed for holiday. And it's just not easy coping with the unexpected changes to travel plans and delays, cancellations that have been plaguing many of us of late. But your joint finances are very well starred. So don't be afraid if travel costs increase. It's okay, Virgo. You can manage. And because Uranus, or unpredictable planet Uranus, is in your travel sector and about to go retrograde on the 24th, you're just going to need to use that kind of Virgo mutability to go with the flow and stop worrying, Virgo. Because retrograde Jupiter is making a harmonious link, a lovely aspect to Venus in Leo. And Venus is our planet of love, of relationship. It's our goddess of love. And that's on the 18th. And it's going to help you feel much better about yourself. And with Saturn, our beautiful outer boy, who has so much ability to bring structure and timing and just slow us down in the best possible way. And Saturn is moving ever closer to hook up with Uranus again in that hard square they had last year. And you're really going to need the flexibility that Virgo can have to cope with the sudden changes that can come from the Uranus-Saturn square. The full moon is in Aquarius this month on the 12th. And I think this energy is going to enable you to make decisions regarding your working life, your routine, and what activities you personally need to streamline and to gain some sense of control back. And Mars is arriving in Gemini from the 20th for a very long stay, and is really going to give a boost to your career this month. This energy is excellent for forging ahead with documents, papers, anything you're writing. Anything you've been working on in that nature, where it's to do with communication or preparing a thesis or a paper. It really is excellent energy, and you've got this energy there until March 2023. So use it, because it's really going to help. And the new moon on the 27th is in your sign, Virgo. So you will be feeling much more centered and optimistic about how your life is starting to unfold. It's all okay, Virgo. It's all good stuff. Thank you so much for joining me, Virgo. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now. Libra. So this reading is for the Sun in Libra or for the Ascendant. So Libra, let's see where this triple conjunction of Mars, Uranus and the North Node is in your chart, because this really is a once in a lifetime energy. So let's see how you can use it to its fullest advantage. Well, it's very much asking you to stay in your Libran balance. Because we're going to see fluctuations in the general economy, then it's about really kind of tuning into that fact and that atmosphere that you need to keep your eye on the ball with joint finances, with anything that you share, any assets, pension funds, investments, just keep your eye on them. And Uranus might spring some surprises, but you know, all of us are going to be affected, not just Libra. And I think because you've got the heads up about keeping your eye out on joint finances and investments, then you're probably much better placed to take necessary action, whereas the rest of us might not be thinking in the same way. So, but you know, Libra, you're normally able to roll with these problems, so I'm actually not worried about this. Let's look at our lovely, huge super planet, Jupiter. Jupiter, my lovely big boy of luck, opportunity, and all sorts of lucky benefits come from this planet, because Jupiter is in your relationship sector. And it's bringing opportunities for love. And it kind of sets the scene for what you can expect energy-wise in your relationships next year. And retrograde Jupiter is going to form a really beautiful link, a harmonious trine with Venus, our planet of love and relationships. And that's around the 18th. I think you will be feeling pretty good about yourself and attracting a different kind of admirer, but people or a certain someone who really want to understand the inner you, to understand what makes you tick. The Aquarius full moon on the 12th brings you some choices, some decisions to make. Is it going to be fun and parties? Or are you going to find a creative project that stimulates you and wins admiration from your friends? But let's also look at Mars, our planet of assertion. It can also be aggression, but it's energy, but it's also sexual. It's a sexual planet. So, you know, it's sexual activity. And Mars, our god of all of these things, arrives in your travel sector and sector of higher education on the 20th. And Mars is going to be here for several months. What it's going to do, maybe there'll be a romance with somebody from far away, overseas, but it's also going to be stimulating travel ideas. Some of you might even learn a new skill with this Mars energy in this part of your chart. It's going to be here till March 2023, so make the most of it. And if you love traveling, Libra, then do everything and anything to make sure that need of yours is fulfilled. There's a Virgo new moon on the 27th, and this new moon is really going to be working on your inner growth and awareness and encouraging you to dig a bit deeper into your psyche let's see what makes Libra tick. I think that's going to be very interesting to see how that unfolds. So Libra, thank you so much for joining me for your August reading. Please like, comment and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now. Scorpio. So this reading is for the Sun in Scorpio or for the Ascendant. So, Scorpio, how are you doing? It's been an interesting roller coaster ride for you over the last few weeks, few months. Well, maybe for all of us in one way or another. But let's have a look at this triple conjunction and see how it's going to affect your relationships, because, of course, Mars, Uranus, and the North Node are all going to be conjunct at the beginning of the month in your relationship sector. Now let's unpack this a bit, because Mars, of course, is our god of action, can be sexuality. And we know that Uranus is a very unpredictable outer big boy of mine and does like to spring surprises in relationships. And the North Node is about what's destined. Where is this relationship moving towards? But, you know, I really feel that you're now getting used to the unpredictability of a certain someone in your life who seems to turn on a sixpence, that quaint old English saying. And let's just look at Saturn for a moment, because Saturn is retrograde in your home and family sector. I think this currently suits you for things to just slow down a bit at home. And it gives you time to reflect on what's been unfolding within your significant relationships. Because Uranus, who's been causing all this unpredictability in your relationships, turns retrograde on the 24th. You know what? This could bring surprising solutions, which have you kind of saying, did that just happen? How did that just happen? Also, we have to remember that Uranus is moving ever closer in its retrograde phase to retrograde Saturn in Aquarius. And they're going to be forming this hard, tough square that we saw in 2021. And you will have noticed this kind of tug of war, if you like, between stability and instability represented in your relationships from both Uranus and Saturn. So let's just move on to the full moon in Aquarius, which is on the 12th. I think by the time of this full moon, if you haven't already, you'll be ready to end a relationship situation that has become tedious and boring. And it may be time with this person to block and delete, or at least use those metaphorical sort of tactics to get your point across. But the positives this month, apart from this roller coaster relationship area of your life, are definitely in your career. And we have a very kind, gentle, harmonious angle from my big lucky boy Jupiter to Venus, our planet of relationship, but also of value, of self-worth, of money, in Leo. And that's on the 18th. And this brings opportunities to advance your career. And an increase in your income is possible. Maybe you're even changing direction in your career or going to a new position. But it certainly bodes well with this Jupiter trine Venus energy. But before we finish your reading, let's also look at Mars, our assertive planet of energy that is currently about to move into Gemini, and that's on the 20th. And Mars is staying in Gemini for quite a lengthy stay, and brings the possibility for transforming your hard-earned cash into something concrete. Are you thinking of getting on the property ladder? That could be a manifestation of Mars in this part of your chart. But let's just finally have a look at the new moon in Virgo, which is on the 27th, because this is going to make you realize that some of your long-held dreams really do stand a chance of manifesting, of materializing. How cool is that? So, Scorpio, thank you so much for joining me for your August reading. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now. Sagittarius. So this reading is for the Sun in Sagittarius or for the Ascendant in Sagittarius. Sagittarius, how are you doing? I think you've been incredibly busy, and I think there's been so much unpredictability in your daily routine that you just don't know whether you're coming or going. That is because you've got Uranus in this part of your chart. And not only that, but we have the energy of Mars, our god of action, energy, assertion, and that is conjunct Uranus in this sector of your chart, along with the North Node, which is about your kind of destiny. Now, what happens to you at this time really does sow the seeds for the next few years. And I think that you really have this yearning to break free of this kind of unpredictability. But you might find also you've got irritating health problems that keep cropping up and getting in your way. So it's like at the moment there's nothing certain about your day-to-day routine. It just keeps changing. You just don't know where the next kind of surprise is coming from. Some of them will be good, some of them may be a little bit more challenging. But on the 24th, Uranus is turning retrograde in this sector. So it might actually help you to have a few more alternative solutions to your health issues if you have any. It certainly might give you some ideas of a better way to deal with anything that is troublesome for you. But you know something, Sagittarius, sometimes you just need to relax and stop your brain from overworking and overheating. You are a fire sign, and you do sometimes get hot under the collar about a lot of things. But Sagittarius, you really do need to just take a little bit of time out and just, as they say, chill a bit. Now, retrograde Jupiter, my lovely outer big boy of luck and opportunity, is making a really helpful aspect with our lovely loving relationship planet, Venus. Now, Venus is currently in Leo, and on the 18th, they make a really, really nice trine aspect. That's a helpful aspect. And you know what this means? You might get the opportunity to go away for a few days, even if it's to stay with a good friend. And this will do you the world of good and give you a fresh perspective on your situation, on everything. We also need to look at Mars, because Mars, our planet of energy and action and assertion, is in the sector of your chart which is to do with significant relationships, Gemini, and it's going to be here for several months. It's actually going to be here until March 2023. And during the next few months, it will even go retrograde for a while. Is this a good thing or a bad thing? Well, I think you could find your relationship becomes quite boisterous almost and quite energetic with whatever activities you decide to do together. And I think you're just going to have rather an exciting time with your beloved. If you don't have a beloved at the moment, that situation could change with Mars here. And it might be an instant kind of attraction. Certainly quite a sexual attraction, if nothing else. And we also have an Aquarius full moon on the 12th. And this is giving the opportunity to finish off tedious form filling or contract signing or getting papers together or collating a thesis or anything that just needs to be kind of sorted. So that's a time when you might be able to bring closure to certain outstanding matters. And we also have a lovely new moon on the 27th, and this is in Virgo. This new moon is boosting your career hopes, and it sees you in a much better frame of mind than at the beginning of the month. You know what, Sagittarius? Life-changing events can happen this month. On that note, thank you so much for joining me for your reading for the month of August. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now. Capricorn. So this reading is for the Sun in Capricorn of the Ascendant. Capricorn. Let's see how the life-changing astrology of this month is going to affect you. Is it life-changing? Well, yes, it is actually, because this triple conjunction we've got at the beginning of the month, the effects of which will last well into the month and actually set the tone for how your life is going to unfold for many years. Now that's interesting. So let's see how this triple conjunction between Uranus, my big outer boy of surprises and unpredictability, conjunct Mars, our god of action, assertion, energy, and the North Node, which is about destiny. So how is this going to affect you? Well, for an in-depth look, you can go to my video, which I've already recorded and is already up on my channel, specifically looking at each sign and how this triple conjunction is going to affect you. But for you now, it's your sector of fun and creativity. I think this is good news because Uranus also turns direct on the 24th. And I think you'll find there's a lot of unexpected developments in your social life. And if you're hoping for a bit of romance, then it could be a life-changing meeting that takes place around the beginning of the month. So it could be any time between, say, mid-July to mid-August, but that's when the energy is at its kind of pinnacle. So get out and about if you're single and you want to meet someone, because this would certainly be a relationship that you could take up to the next level of becoming something much more permanent and secure. So let's see what else is going on, because we have an Aquarius full moon this month on the 12th. This will actually bring opportunities to deal with any outstanding financial problems or difficulties or matters in general. Even though Saturn, your ruler, is part of this and it is retrograde, what it's doing is suggesting that you just need to be patient, but there is light at the end of this tunnel. And remember, Saturn and Uranus that's going retrograde on the 24th, are moving ever closer to their square again that we had in 2021. And you've got this kind of tug of war, if you like, between security and freedom. And the freedom that comes from, say, I don't know, realizing certain assets, and Saturn that is saying, no, don't be too kind of rebellious in all of this. But actually, I think with that Uranus energy in your house of fun and creativity, this is about a bid for freedom for a lot of Capricorns. Jupiter, my big outer boy of luck and expansion and opportunity, is helping you sort out your living space. And it's making a lovely angle to Venus, our planet of love and beauty and relationships. And it's giving you, it's making money available to give you a helping hand to really beautify your home. And it's especially around the 18th that you'll notice that. Now, the other interesting energy we need to look out for this month is Mars moving into Gemini. Mars moves into Gemini on the 20th. And this is the sector of your chart to do with your day-to-day routine and health matters. Now, Mars is actually going to be here for several months. In fact, until March 2023. And during that time, it's even going to have a retrograde phase, which is really quite interesting. So how's it going to affect your daily routine? Well, I think it's going to energize your routine. I think you're going to have energy to get things done and really work hard at your chosen career. But at the same time, you've got to be careful you don't overdo it, because your health could suffer. So you must learn to pace yourself, Capricorn. Use the energy constructively. Capricorn, this is a great time to attend to any medical or dental checkups that you might need, because if you don't, then Mars can sometimes create a toothache, which means you have no choice but to sort it out. By the 27th, we have a new moon in Virgo. And this is going to stimulate your thirst for knowledge and travel. So it could certainly see you going off to pastures new and making a really lovely travel plans and a journey. And if you're not fortunate enough to have the funds to travel, you may just be going through kind of like travel books and looking at documentaries about places that you would like to go to. And you know, there's nothing wrong with that, because setting our intentions about what we'd like to invite into our life is always a good thing. Capricorn, thank you so much for joining me for your August reading. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now. Aquarius. So, this reading is for the Sun in Aquarius off the Ascendant. Aquarius, let's see how this triple conjunction of Mars, our god of action and energy, Uranus, our planet of the unpredictable and unexpected, and the North Node, which is all about destiny, is affecting you, because it's in the part of your chart that is to do with your home and family. So what this means in this area is that it is going to impact on where you live, where you stay, if you decide to stay where you're currently living or located, or whether you actually decide to change your location. That could be one kind of effect of this kind of energy. I also want to ask you how you're getting on with your other half, because Venus, our relationship goddess, our goddess of attraction and beauty, is currently in your opposite sign of Leo. And Venus is making a very harmonious link to Jupiter in Aries, and that's mid-month, round about the 18th. And if there have been problems that you've needed to kind of address with your other half, then this really is a super time to clear up any recent issues that you've had. The other thing with this energy, with Venus in your 7th house, is that if you're single and you'd like to not be single, but to be in a relationship, then you might find somebody right under your nose in your own sort of locality, because often it's where we least expect to meet someone that there they are. Sometimes it could be someone we've known as a friend, and suddenly we both see each other in a different light. So also I want to talk about the area of your chart to do with your home again, because Uranus is turning retrograde on the 24th. And this is just going to bring this whole subject up again about where you're going to live. Are you staying where you're staying, or do you want to relocate? Because I think the decisions you make around now are just going to have a kind of an effect for several years. In fact, really probably almost, one could say, for the next and rest of your life. So this really is life-changing energy we have now. But let's look at this month's full moon in your sign, Aquarius. Now it's conjunct Saturn that is currently retrograde in your sign. And this full moon is asking you to slow down and take your time with personal decisions, to trust the timing of the cosmos, because we don't always, we get in our own way. I often say this, and sometimes it's about thinking, actually, is it thy way or my way? What is actually what are the signs the divine or the cosmos or the universe are giving me? Because maybe that is the better way to go. But this month, you need to look to Mars in your sector of fun for light relief from all this heavy decision making, because it's now going to be in Gemini in this sector for several months from the 20th. And this active energy is going to stimulate your need for some creativity in your life, some variety and fun to balance out all the challenging energies from Saturn in your sign. And then we mustn't forget Pluto retrograde in Capricorn, which is in that sector of your chart to do with the inner you, is really urging you to kind of transform on an inner level. And, you know, it's sometimes with this energy, it's about checking out whom in your circle is on your team. And most importantly, ask yourself, are you on your team? Are you your best friend, or are you your worst enemy? Before I finish your reading, we have a new moon in Virgo, and it's on the 27th. It's in the sector of your chart that is to do with joint finances. So it may be that if you have been thinking to look to relocating and the sort of transactions with money or landlords or property or buying and selling, then this new moon will herald a new start in this endeavor. All in all, Aquarius, an interesting month ahead. So thank you so much for joining me for your August astrology. And please like, comment, and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now. Pisces. So this reading is for the Sun in Pisces or for the Ascendant. Pisces, how are you doing? Oh, I didn't do my little fishes. I have to do my little fishes for my oceans of emotion. Oh dear, Pisces. Well, let's see. Well, you know, in your communication sector, which is Taurus, you have this famous triple conjunction, which is formed by Mars, our god of energy, action, war, assertion. Uranus, my big outer boy of unpredictability, rebellion, and just generally the unexpected. And the North Node, which is about one's destiny. So it's in your communication sector. So you know what, Pisces? I think it's helping you find the courage to say what you feel. And when Uranus goes retrograde on the 24th, I think you'll have another chance to get your point across if it was not understood or heard the first time. That'll be interesting. Now, Saturn, our planet of restrictions, is still making you feel a bit trapped and wants you to take time for inner reflection this month, because Saturn is moving ever closer to the square it had last year in 2021 with Uranus in your third house of communication. So this was a real tug of war between breaking for freedom and restrictions. So there's the sort of the Uranus in your third house wanting to say it how it is, and Saturn in that part of the chart that's to do with that inner you, thinking, I think I probably have to shut up. And yet, you know, on a deep inner level, it's like you can see the truth of so many situations at the moment, and that can actually put you in quite a difficult place, quite a lonely place, when we can't actually say what it is we want to say. But I think what we have to look at is the Aquarius full moon, which is on the 12th, because this is in that sector of your chart to do with that inner you, your psyche. And it's actually conjunct Saturn, retrograde Saturn. I think this full moon is going to give you the insight you've needed, and for you to see what needs to change in your own behavior, certainly in the way you think, in your kind of psychological way of thinking. It's an incredibly enlightening time for you, Pisces. And I think you'll also be looking close to home to see whom in your circle is not good for you. I also feel that for a Piscean that finds boundaries quite difficult, you will be setting your personal boundaries in a much stronger sense. Let's look at what Mars is up to, because Mars, our god of action, energy, assertion, is moving into Gemini on the 20th. And it's going to be here for an extended stay, in fact, until March 2023. And during that time, it's even going to have a retrograde phase. So with this energy in the sector of your chart to do with your home, I think you'll be thinking more actively about making changes to your home and your living space. You may be considering moving or even working more from home. And let's also look at Jupiter, because Jupiter, my big outer boy of luck and opportunity. And Jupiter's retrograde in part of your chart to do with your finance. So it's really working hard to increase your piggy bank. And on the 18th is helped by a beautiful link from Venus, a lovely trine, which is in Leo. And that's showing you how a new working routine is quite literally working out well. So you will gain the benefits both psychologically and financially. The new moon on the 27th in Virgo, of course, is in your relationship sector. And I think what this does is it brings opportunities to make positive changes in current relationships. And if you're single and looking, there's really good potential for a new relationship. Okay, thank you, Pisces, my lovely oceans of emotions, for joining me for this part of the video to see your August reading. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.